Hello everyone and welcome to AHS Countdown. I'm your host Reese Kinder, joined by my co-host James Tippins. James, how are we doing today?
Doing great, Reese. Excited for this matchup between Auburn and Central.
Yeah, like you said, big matchup between Auburn and Central, but we're going to get right into it now. For last week's performance from Auburn, homecoming game, Auburn won 41-7 against the Moody Blue Devils. Solid performance from quarterback Casey Myers, using his arms and his legs yet again, and Auburn's defense was able to look pretty good as well.
Yeah, the defense stepped up in a big way. All until the fourth quarter, no scores from Moody, but yeah, this Auburn team stepped up in a big way, hoping to ride that momentum into this game against Central.
Yeah, and I mean, this game against Central is huge because Central did lose to IMG Academy last week, 49-14, but still, Central's a really good team.
Yep.
Coming in here 5-1, has won basically all their region games so far that they've played, and this has been a rivalry we've seen the past few years between Auburn and Central that started to build up as Auburn has, not taken as many games, but they've actually performed pretty well in these games against Central. Now we're going to move into our strengths and weaknesses. James, what are your strengths for Auburn and Central tonight?
Yeah, for Auburn, it's the defense, especially the secondary. Cornerbacks, B.J. McGee and Cortez Cooks. Last game, B.J. McGee had 2 interceptions with Moody. This defense has just been phenomenal all season. The last 3 games, only giving up 14 points. And then for Central, their strength, their high-powered offense. Bobby Coleman at quarterback. They run the ball really well. They average 187 yards per game on the ground and then 286 passing yards a game. Really just a do-it-all kind of offense. Patrick Nixon's got this offense rolling, so it's going to be really cool to see this really talented Auburn defense go against this tremendous Central offense.
Yeah, and Auburn's defense, the most points they've given up this season is Vestavia Hills, 42 points. So a solid showing from them the past few weeks after that Vestavia game. And like you mentioned, Central's offense has just been really good. They only had a dud last week against IMG where they scored 14 points, and I'm looking to see them do pretty good tonight. But I'm going to go to my weaknesses for tonight. I'm going to start with Auburn. Auburn, pressure from different defenses on the QB. Casey Myers really struggled with that against Vestavia Hills and couldn't get the ball out efficiently and wasn't able to find his receivers. And if that happens tonight, I think Central gets a big win due to the fact that Casey Myers can't really throw it downfield to guys like Joshua Askew, Antonio Welch, and Cash Reef. And then Central's weaknesses, Central really gives up a lot of rushing yards. We've seen that against Smith Station, they gave up a ton of rushing yards. Against Enterprise they did. Against Dothan they gave up a bunch. And it's just been really, really struggling as the season has progressed. And I think IMG did it as well last week, able to get the run game going. So if Auburn's able to do that tonight, get those running backs going, I think Central will have some trouble. But I'm really interested to see if those things play out in this game.
Yeah.
But we're now going to move to key players to watch. And James, who is your key player to watch tonight?
Yeah, for Auburn, it's linebacker Aiden Parker. Greg Williams unfortunately went down last week. He's out for a couple of weeks. But Aiden Parker stepped up in a big way, getting a pick 6, 10 tackles last week. He's the leader of this team now with Greg Williams down. And then for Central, freshman wide receiver Braylon Averett has got 5 touchdowns on the season. He's a freshman playing for this Central team. He's their big play guy. Reminds me a lot of Eric Singleton. They run a lot of jet sweeps, motions, and screen plays to him. But he's a big play guy and definitely a key player for the Red Devils.
Yeah, and I feel like with Greg Williams going down, Aiden Parker will be able to step up a lot. And I really feel like that could be a big factor for Auburn, considering we did see he had the pick 6 last week. But we're going to now quickly move into a commercial break. But don't go away, because when we come back, we will have Player Spotlight with James Tippins.
When I was getting ready to retire, I had to have somewhere to look for some health insurance. So I ran into an old classmate of mine at Hardee's one morning, and he happened to be driving for Auburn City Schools. So we got to talking. He was telling me about the benefits, and it's a great opportunity because, we leave here, a couple of hours every morning, a couple of hours in the afternoon. We got from probably 8:30 to 2:30, go play golf, work in the yard, do whatever you want to do. You're not going to work on the weekends. You're not going to work on holidays. You got all summer. So that's great.
Okay, if somebody's considering driving a school bus, I would say do it. There are so many opportunities for different people, different walks of life, different roles, no matter what situation you're in for being a bus driver. There are spaces for those who own their own business and can make their own hours. This is a fantastic opportunity for that. For those stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads that don't necessarily want to be gone from the house all day but can do a morning and an afternoon shift, that is fantastic schedule.
but I know they're paying on Mr. Lewis to take them to school. So I try to get there on time, every day, and show up every day. And that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. I love kids. I love people. I like tiny people.
Best part be the school bus driver. Again, you help these kids get education. You help these kids go to the school, and you help these kids go back to home. This is, in my opinion, the best part.
My favorite things are the handwritten notes, hands down. Even if the parents are making them do it, they usually think about, what you mean to them and what impact that you've made on them.
We need bus drivers. We love to have bus drivers. We need drivers every day.
It's all about the kids. They're the ones that's special, honestly. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm still here. And they can't get rid of me, But I'm not letting those 70 kids that are counting on me to get to school, I'm not letting them down.
Hello everyone and welcome back to AHS Countdown. We're going to move to our player spotlight now. And James, what player stood out to you the most last week?
Yeah, Reese, for Auburn, it was Levi Kelly, the wide receiver, the Pike Road transfer. Had a really breakthrough game last week. His first receiving touchdown as a member of the Tigers, had 25 yards receiving, and just gives Casey Myers just another threat out wide. And then for Central, I've got speedy edge rusher Trey Lyles. He's the leader of this defense. 7 sacks on the season. He's got offers from almost everywhere. I'm really looking forward to see that matchup against him and Trenton Pritchett tonight.
Yeah, Trenton Pritchett, big guy, and I feel like that will be a pretty good matchup, like you said. And Levi Kelly as well, starting to make a name for himself here at Auburn with Casey Myers getting in the ball a little bit more these past few weeks. I'm really excited to see that receiver-quarterback duo happen this week. But we're going to move to our region standings quickly here as we'll look at the teams so far in the region. Auburn currently leading, actually tied with Central, Carver. They are all 3-0 in region play. And then Opelika, Dothan, and Enterprise are right behind Auburn, Carver, and Central. Opelika in 4th place. They are 2-1 in the region, but Dothan is 1-2, and Enterprise is also 1-2. And then obviously Smith Station and Jag, who do play tonight, they are 0-3. But Auburn still takes the lead, and tonight they can continue that if they beat Central. But we are going to move to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will have our game picks.
Play hard, play to win. But when sports injuries occur, you can rely on Encore. Our professional team treats all types of sports-related injuries for athletes of all ages. Our licensed therapists work closely with the patient, your family, and physician to get you back into action quickly and safely. At Encore, we love to see you move. Log on to EncoreRehab.com for a location near you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to HS Countdown. We're going to move right into our game picks now. Obviously I'm 13-1. Cherish is not here, so James is 16-4. But we're going to get right into those picks now. And our first game up is 4-2 Thompson versus 6-0 Hewitt Trustful at Hewitt. Thompson coming off the loss last week to Clay Chalkville on Thursday night. And James, who do you have between Thompson and Hewitt?
Yeah, Reese, as you mentioned, Thompson losing last week. I think they get a big bounce-back win against Hewitt, and Warriors pick up another dub.
Yeah, Hewitt, I mean, a tough team, but I do like Thompson to bounce back. They usually don't lose 2 in a row, so I'm going to take the Warriors in this one. And our next game up on the schedule is Austin, who is 4-1, versus Huntsville, who's 3-2. James, who do you have between Austin and Huntsville?
Yeah, Austin coming into Huntsville, it's a hard environment to play in. I'm going to have to go with Huntsville.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. I'm going to go with Austin. Austin 4-1, had a strong start to their season, usually makes playoffs, and I feel like Austin's going to get a big win here to improve their record to 5-1 on the season. And our next game up will be a region game. It's going to be Carver and Enterprise. Carver 4-1, Enterprise struggling as of late. This is a home game for them. They are 2-3 on the season. Who do you have between Carver and Enterprise?
Yeah, we see Carver later in the season. We've already seen Enterprise. Carver's got some big boys up front. I think they overwhelm Enterprise tonight, and Carver picks up a win.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I really love Carver's, mentality. The whole season they've been, locked in, and I really feel like this Carver team is going to be able to get the job done at Enterprise. Enterprise just, not off to the best start this season, and I think that's going to continue tonight against Carver. But our next game up is Smith Station and Jag. Smith Station 1-5 on the season, and Jag also 1-5 on the season. This is in the Crampton Bowl. James, who do you have between Smith Station and Jag?
Yeah, Reese, two really struggling teams. I think Jag gets the edge on this one. It's going to be tight, but yeah, I've got Jag.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. Last week I did go with Smith Station, and I did miss that. So I'm going to have to go with Smith Station this week, and I'm going to say they beat Jag and win their second game of the season and win their first region game of the season. So I'm really excited to see if Smith Station can win on Friday night. But we're going to move to our last game of the slate, and it is the one and only Auburn Tigers, who are 5-1, and the Central Red Devils, who are also 5-1. Central coming off the loss to IMG last week, and Auburn coming off of a win against Moody, 41-7. And James, who do you have between Auburn and Central?
Yeah, Reese, biggest game on our schedule this year, Central versus Auburn. It's a marquee matchup versus two high-powered offenses and a high-powered defense. I think Auburn gets the edge by a lot. I think we're riding this momentum. That Vestavia loss was kind of like a fever dream. We've moved past that, moved forward. Auburn gets a big win tonight against the Red Devils.
I mean, I agree with you there. I really feel like this Tigers team has started to gain confidence as the weeks have progressed. Like you said, the Vestavia Hills game is just a fever dream at this point, and I really like the Tigers in this one, so I'm going to have to go with Auburn, and they'll improve their record to 6-1 on the season. Now we're going to move to our keys to the game segment. James, what is your key to the game for Auburn tonight?
Yeah, for Auburn, I think it's to execute these big plays. You know, Casey Myers has shown us his arm these last couple of weeks, getting to the receivers like Joshua Askew, Antonio Welch, Levi Kelly. If we can get the ball to them and those explosive plays downfield, there's no reason why Auburn doesn't win this game by multiple scores.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. Casey Myers showing off with his arms and his legs the past few weeks, and I feel like this Central team, if they're not ready, Casey Myers is really going to show them what he's got.
Yep.
And I feel like Coach Etheridge has been keeping that from a team like Central and just waiting for a game like this to see an explosive Casey Myers, see how he performs. And this receiving core really should do good against Central tonight. And my key to the game for Central is you got to avoid the long pass plays on defense. I know Central secondary is really good, but they're going to have to watch out for guys like Joshua Askew, Antonio Welch, and Levi Kelly, and Cash Reef to possibly beat them in the secondary and score those big plays. And if Central avoids that, I think Central gets the win tonight. But for now, I'm going to have to stick with Auburn on that one. But that is going to do it for AHS Countdown. I hope you guys enjoy the game between Auburn and Central, and we'll see you at the kick.